Have you been in a situation where you're enormously excited about something and then you've walked into ridicule? When I was about 4 years old, I was attending daycare and preschool. We were going to have a dress-up day. And my mother, in her wisdom, decided to dress me up as a turtle. Now, the way we did that was we had a plastic potty at home. And it was a turtle, and you could lift off the shell and sit on it and do your business. And the lid was the turtle shell. And so we used that turtle shell to make for a back piece to be a turtle shell on my back. So here I was, a little kid, and I'm walking into preschool for the first time, excited to see my friends. And here I'm confronted by this wall of little boys who come and take one look at me. One of them laughs and says, "You're in a potty, you're dirty." And I was absolutely overcome with a feeling of shock and humiliation. It was devastating. Here I was, so excited to come and have such a good day and meet some friends and bond and connect, only to be hit with a loss of that pride, the humiliation and the dread, and I just ran away crying. It's horrible. To be that age and be faced with something that's just such a strong moment of embarrassment, but on a deep level also a sense of betrayal. Here was my mother, who was supposed to be my protector, my wise advisor, there to support me. By following her advice, I had walked into such a devastating situation. What I learnt was that I couldn't trust people. I couldn't rely on people who gave me advice. If I wasn't perfect, and if I did something and there was even one thing wrong with that thing, I'd be absolutely ridiculed and devastated, and it was dangerous. So a big lesson was that I need to be perfect. It taught me a really hard lesson about trust and betrayal, and that even believing in yourself isn't necessarily going to cut it. And I was broken. With an adult spin on that story, there's a lesson to be learnt about past fears and how past fears can be rooted in childhood trauma. The lessons and beliefs that we're taught when we're children may stay with us, but we're not confined by those. As an adult, I can look at that pattern and go, look, I don't need to behave that way. Strong value in going back and looking at these stories in our life, not as a victim. I could tell this story as a victim. Hey, look what happened to me. That sucks. This is why I am the way I am. Or I can use it as a lesson to be who I am here and give me the strength to come out and embrace my own wants, dreams, and desires and express them online in a video like this content is. Being vulnerable and telling my story. And you might not like me. You might go, what are you doing? Your camera's bad. Your sound's bad. Who do you think you are? You can't tell a story. You might laugh. But so what, right? With an adult's perspective, this is a risk I can take and deal with the consequences. I mean, what happens? You give me some bad comments? I don't know. This is something I'd love to do. It's an act of self-expression. And so here we are telling that story. What lesson can you take away from that? What lessons have you had in your life that might have taught you a certain way that you needed to be, and a certain way the world is, and a certain way that people might respond to things? And as an adult, you still play out that pattern now. What stories are in your life that taught you dysfunctional belief systems? You know, like it was suitable as a child. It was a defensive mechanism. It was something I needed to learn. But as an adult, it'll hold me back. There's a strong lesson here about looking back through your past history and seeing those dysfunctional formations so that you can then make the choice to step outside of those. And that's where the freedom lies. If there's something you know that you've experienced that taught you something that maybe you need to, as an adult, rethink and be aware of and make better choices, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being here today. It was great having you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.